Are you ready?
Oh, baby, I was born ready.
Oh my gosh, I always ask queens if they're ready, and I've yet to have a queen give me that answer, and that's the answer I always yearn for. So thank you.
Oh, you've been yearning for this answer
Yes!
since? Okay, cool.
Yes.
I was born ready.
I love it. I love
Oh, wait,
it.
I'm sure you've totally heard a million times, if you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready.
Mm-mm.
People never say that either. That's Chi Chi DeVane's line.
No.
If
I
you
haven't
stay
heard
ready, you ain't got to get ready.
No, I haven't heard that one. I normally just hear, yes, are you? And I'm like, yeah, I was born ready. So normally I am the one who has to be responsible to say that, even though I wasn't really born ready, but it's okay.
So I stole it from you.
It's totally fine.
It's kind of my MO, apparently.
No.
Check it out on Twitter.
Love that. Well, welcome back to LA. My goodness, it's been a month. We are here, not for a show this time, actually for a little Q&A. This was so much fun. We're at the LA LGBT Center. You did a little panel just on body positivity, representation. What was kind of the highlight from the past hour? Anything, like everything you said stuck with me, but what is one thing you really want the audience to like really remember?
I think for me, honestly, the one thing I want people to remember is to just be their own support system. I think that's like something I've really had to learn through this experience, especially in the morning. Just get up and do anything so that you can get that going for the rest of the day to do other things too. You know, when it's the hardest, push yourself harder. You know.
Definitely. And today is election day, which is so exciting. And you are very outspoken on social media, not only about, the importance of voting in the first place, but also just on your own political views, which first of all, thank you for that. But begs the question, do you think drag queens or really anyone with a platform on Instagram have an obligation to speak out? Because I feel like not everyone truly uses their platform. I got to give it to you, drag queens. So you always are so vocal, and it's really awesome.
Yeah, I think that drag queens are used to being equality marchers where they originally come from before the show RuPaul's Drag Race. So I think just naturally with our platform, we automatically start pushing for equality and things that our community members are working on. We are not afraid to like mention it and talk about it too. It's kind of a part of our MO, I think. But I definitely think it's obligated. You know, especially in our political climate right now, we're leaders in the LGBTQ, APPDCMJ, XYZ community, and we need to be leading them. And right now, we need to be voting as much as humanly possible because these preliminaries are going to be determining what representatives we have representing us when the election really does matter. People are finally starting to learn how elections work, and it's not. It is definitely about time. And just a quick reminder: it's not just voting when it's time to vote for the president, because we also have electoral votes and the House, and those are the people that we need to be electing that are going to represent us well when those votes are coming through. So that's why the midterms are so important. So I just want to add that for some of you that might not know that.
Definitely. Yeah, and that actually, you segued perfectly into my next question. I was going to ask, about the importance of voting. So many people, I'm in college, and I even hear, like, from fellow, colleagues or students that I'm friends with, my vote doesn't matter. If I sign up, I have to go to jury duty. It's like, okay, that's fine. Get over it. You probably won't get called in, even if you are. Like, you are given this opportunity. Yeah, that's right.
You get paid to do jury duty, girl.
Yeah, so I mean, it's fine, right? I think it's worth it. I think
that's
it's
like
worth
doing an extras day at the studio.
Yeah.
You was gonna go stand there in your cocktail dress and pretend like you're dancing at a club, but you can't go to jury duty.
Yeah, and plus, if you really hate your job, which I hope you don't, you get out of that. So.
Yeah, I mean, but everyone hates work. I mean, even if you love your job. I love plugging that, so that way I don't feel bad for the days that I hate my job.
No worries, no worries. And I saw you, as you know, at Work the World LA. You chose your song for your like individual piece, "This Is Me," which was fire. That was amazing. Lance and I went together, and we were like, "This is so cool." What other songs were you kind of maybe toying with, or other concepts for Work the World? Because I mean, on your own, you only kind of get one number.
Yeah. So I was actually considering opening that number with a song called "Power" by Katy Perry.
Okay.
Which just because I feel like we need power right now, and especially myself at the moment of getting that production together, I felt like I needed as much strength as possible. For me, sometimes my art is where I like portray that. I'm also working on a Christmas tour coming up. I did a song for it. Grandma got run over by a reindeer, LMAO. And so we're going to be doing that all across Europe. So I hope that anyone that can look up that at christmasqueens.net. Also, we're doing another Work the World tour in Asia, Australia. I don't know who we're reaching here today, but I'm hopefully going to be doing a Disney production for it. I'm not going to give you all more details on it. And I'm also trying to do a Nightmare Before Christmas production for the Christmas tour. So I like to get creative. So.
Yes, I mean that's part of being a drag queen. So
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's so exciting. I know that Christmas Queens is I think you have one show in America, so I won't be able to make that
Yeah,
tour.
that's
But
true.
I go Work the World, so I'm pretty happy with that. And then I just have one more question I try to ask every drag queen because it's something that was kind of touched upon on the show. I the idea that drag is an escape and it can be an escape from reality, but at times I think that might become, not the best option. Like you said, we live in this, heated political climate, but it's not like I can always turn to interviewing if I don't want to think about the real world, and you can't necessarily always turn to drag when you don't want to face the real world. So how do you find that balance?
Yeah, well, one thing I want to start with first is there's something that I really enjoy from RuPaul's new book called Rugu Ting. I want you all to check it out, obviously, because this is actually really good. Also, his and Michelle's podcast is life changing. What's the tea? Tagged you again, mama. But he actually talks about how people automatically assume that we as drag queens dress up in drag to become someone else, And that's actually the most common misconception because we actually become a more authentic version of ourselves.
It's an extension of your inner self.
Exactly. And it's a form of femininity that we've had to hide our entire lives, that we're actually allowed to push out into the world artistically, but we're also celebrated for it, especially on this level. I think that people can relate to that or find inspiration in that because in our society, it's so hard to truly be yourself or to express parts of yourself that you have to constantly hide. And I think that's what makes drag so relatable for people and why it's moved into a mainstream, because not only the political climate, our social climate is suffering right now, and everyone wants to belong and they're trying to find their place. And we're basically saying, fuck that place. You belong no matter where you are, no matter who you are. And that's what's the most inspirational, I think, and that's what people are connected to drag with, I think, the most. I hope that answers.
No, that answers it perfectly. I find it so fascinating because you are an extension of your inner self, and it is a persona, but at the same time, it is kind of, a lot of people might misconceive it as just a hobby or as an escape. So I always like to kind of, clear up those misunderstandings. Well,
I think, sorry, if I might add, I love to talk, girl. I got to add something else.
I just want to make sure your voice isn't getting tired.
Yeah, no, I just think escape-wise, it's not an escape for us. It's an escape maybe for audiences.
Oh, yeah.
It helps. I think the escape comes from, it's not necessarily an escape. Watching TV, any movie, any TV show, listening to music, the arts in general is an escape for us as human beings. Whether it's a way for us to be sad with something else, or mad or happy, or just a way for us to forget about the problems we're dealing with our own day. We escape into that movie or that TV series that we love. It keeps our mind off of what we're really worried about. So that's what drag is becoming by being a mainstream TV show, I think.
Oh, yeah.
So that's why maybe the fandom here is allowing it to be an escape. Yeah.
LA has the best. I really think LA is one of the most, open and accepting places. So it's so great that you came back and you're able to share your knowledge not only as a drag queen but with your experiences on Drag Race. So
I love LA.
I know.
I'm so honored to be
Great.
here. And we're better than New York.
Thank you for clarifying.
That's the fight, honey. We're trying to prove it.
Well, thank you so much, Eureka. I'm glad we finally made this happen. Of course, of course.
I love her. Listen, I need you all to click down here, right down there, like, subscribe, comment below if you like what I said. If you didn't like what I said, comment below too. But make sure you give compliments to this beautiful goddess as she continues to get information from us freak nasties like me.
Oh, you're so sweet. Thank you so much. Enjoy your, I don't know how long you're in LA, but enjoy the little break.
Let's go eat. You wanna?